Happy birthday, Gina. Virginia. Happy birthday, Hyacinth, Curtin, Lewis, Rosamond. And happy birthday to David Lloyd and Rhea Foreman. They're all celebrating birthdays today. Toko Darky Marshall. I know who that is, I can't place it. James Samuel, happy birthday. And belated birthday greetings, of course, to Richard Raghubar Singh, Ronald Abbott, Dr. Keith Rowley, and Tariq Brown. And Charmaine from New York. You all forgot Charmaine from New York yesterday. Charmaine celebrated her birthday yesterday also, the 24th of October. So
well, I don't know. Yesterday was a real prolific day for human reproduction because the amount of people who I know celebrate birthday yesterday.
Yeah, had birthdays yesterday.
It's like, what? Serious? Like 9 months before yesterday, humans is getting real busy. Right then, 9 months before yesterday, that's Carnival.
It's Christmas in the Carnival. Well, October generally is a Christmas in the Carnival celebration.
10th month, so that means in the end of January, somebody coming from some fete or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's a happy time. It's one of the happiest times for human beings. Christmas in the Carnival, which is why October people are so special. Yeah. Because the reproductive
cycle
performance would have been at its highest and it's at its happiest.
Well, today is 2 months to Christmas.
Well, it's the 10th month, so which means 9 months after January. So which means at the middle of the end of January.
Yeah.
It's a happy time in truth. Christmas now done. Yeah. The house paint, food buy, Carnival coming. So
drinks still left over from Christmas.
Yeah, drinks left over. The children still happy. They're going back out to school.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
They have a little peace in the house.
Mm-hmm. It's a time when people can relax and do all manner of things, which is where October,
like 70, 60 years ago, when it had less things to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly where October people came from.
So where August people came from? Bad mind?
August people come from
Bad mind is started December.
Preparing for Christmas when you're tired and you just want to do something and get it over and done with.
Wow. so August people are collateral damage.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You all were when the food wasn't cooking, the house dirty.
You're coming from work, oh God, go and sleep now.
It may not even be a bed because the place dirty.
Oh God, did they hear you? You had to go too much, yeah? You wanted to go too much. Then you go into the news. Oh gosh. Nah, man. Nah. I listened to the Attorney General yesterday, and he said a new critical tool coming for debate in the crime-fighting armory is the Control Operations Bill. Now, this piqued my interest, the Control Operations Bill, which he says, the AG that is, has the potential to significantly assist law enforcement in combating crimes including money laundering, human trafficking, guns, drugs, and firearms. It's interesting, eh? A Control Operations Bill, which will help law enforcement in dealing with money laundering, human trafficking, and trafficking in guns, drugs, and firearms. So he said this will help in monitoring, conducting controlled sting operations.
What prevents them from doing that now?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to go a little further. Sometimes you have to get warrants and stuff to go, to get in some premises, them kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And warrants, having to seek a warrant sometimes gives the people the opportunity to be tipped off by who.
Yeah,
and hide evidence of a potential crime. So I guess this kind of like the interception of communication bill, where the state has legal options to intercept particular communication under certain circumstances. I haven't seen the bill, so let me just say, I'm just kind of saying what it may control, because if it's the control operations bill, providing authorization, conduct, and monitoring of control sting operations, it will give law enforcement more leeway than they have now.
But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that probably is the answer to a question you've been asking and we've been asking on the Power Breakfast Show in terms of police access to customs bonds, immigration of places, the port authority, you know?
But I hope so, because I asked that question several times in several different fora.
Yeah. Maybe
keep
that's the
asking
answer.
Why police can't go into customs and raid if they feel something wrong going on. Good morning, Raghubar Singh.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Richie Rich.
And good morning to our listeners.
Hey, you look hungover.
What? No.
You look hungover.
Absolutely not. I had not an ounce of alcohol yesterday.
So maybe you will always have alcohol in you. No matter, even if you drink for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nope. Never, did not have
residual alcohol. Anyway, this control operations bill maybe gives them, because it says authorization, conduct, and monitoring of controlled sting operations.
Yeah, I believe I suspect it's the
No, this is something the AG identified yesterday as a critical tool coming in the crime-fighting armory.
Is it a unit?
No, it's a bill. It's a law.
Oh.
A bill that he's seeking to make law.
Maybe a unit will come out of it too.
Is it another unit?
But when they were creating a special unit?
A vetted unit?
Yes. Isn't it the powers for that unit?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But even as my colleague, Senator Dero Timal, said yesterday, to mere admission that we need a vetted unit means that we know how much corruption in the police service. And he's right.
Nobody ever did. Who denies that? Not a soul could ever deny that.
But I mean, the admission and the acceptance of it without a lot of progress being made in rooting out the corruption is also quite alarming. That you need a vetted unit because you can't succeed in significantly rooting out the corrupt officers is alarming. You understand?
Yeah. No,
you have a cloister because you can't succeed in dealing with the corrupt ones.
Yeah, it's not alarming me. I've said it ad nauseum here on this morning show.
But isn't that a terrible indictment in us as a country that we cannot clean up the police service? Isn't that a terrible indictment that we admitting that, well, let's just leave it so because we can't clean it up properly?
But we ain't saying just leave it so. I don't think the powers that they be saying leave it so. They are trying their best to work around it, because the reality is too many good police officers are afraid. They are afraid to deal with it.
And they have a right to be afraid. They have a right to be afraid.
I feel it for them.
Yeah, I would be afraid too.
Well, that's the reality.
Yeah, checks and balances.
According to a friend of mine who's now domiciled in the States, who was a police officer, he said to tell him, remember, on an operation, it always has police in front and in the back of you. And bulletin and eyes. Right? He said he was told that
times we have seen
after he refused to accept monies from an operation.
Checks and balances, and that's why a simple thing like body cams is so important. Because it increases the transparency, and everybody should be very aware.
It seems to me that every commissioner in office has resisted that in terms of a widespread and consistent application. Everyone.
Yep, they're just talking.
And I only say that based on the evidence of actual operationalization of that. Because all that must talk, well, we have 200 body cams and we have and 150 operational and this and that and the other. Yeah.
Crickets.
And we've ordered 600 more. Remember them all, Joe?
Then the Minister of National Security said recently it was 3,000 more they ordered or something like that.
Order is 7,000, whatever it is. Just order.
Exactly. And let everybody wear body cams.
Why 300? Why 100? Order is 7,000.
Wear body cam. And
First of all, you don't need 7,000 because you have about 3,000 administrative officers who do go out and do operation. That's the first thing. You only need 4,000 because of the ones who are on duty, they won't be on duty all the time. All you need is about 4,000. That's all you need.
Yeah, but my point is, instead of ordering 200,
charges, you need regulations that are applied that state and are instituted consistently that if you go out without the body cam and it not owned and it not charged, you're gonna get suspended for a month with no pay. You understand? And you need all that applied consistently. So buying the 4,000 body cams alone and not doing what you need to do to make sure that they're operational when everybody leave the police precinct is a waste of time. So they will buy them, you know, but they will be not charged. Or they come back and the SD card corrupt. Or that one malfunction that because they refused, they didn't put the cover was on and this happened.
well,
So it come back and all of that. We know all the tricks.
You have to have the interdepartmental memos and stuff.
You have to have the leadership
that deal with all of those issues.
and want to do it. So they had body cams at Gary Griffith, you know, but on special operations. Not for everybody.
Once you're interfacing with members of the public, you should have on a body cam.
Once you leave any police station. And you're right, interfacing, because inside the police station. You're right.
You see that badge they're strapping on around their neck now? All of them doing it. Whether they're in plain clothes or uniform. Why they wearing that? Put the body cam on that. Put the camera on that. Find a way to get the camera on that same badge. That
remember, a certain commissioner told us it has to be the right resolution, it has to have the right connectivity, and we have to have the right infrastructure, and the Bluetooth need to be working. And then, quote unquote, we need to train them for a year and a half to use a body cam.
We're not serious. We
But
really
all
not.
of them making special videos. Or plenty of them. Let me not say all. They had to train them, eh? And the trainings take a while. And then, on top of that, the association will say, well, we don't want to accept the liability for that. And they will have all kind of roadblocks because they don't want it. They don't want the accountability and the transparency that comes with it. Oh yeah, what else we can talk about? Let me talk about something else.
No, just quickly, I'll tell you, during Martin Joseph's time in office as Minister of National Security, remember they purchased 3 of these sky towers, the towers that went up in the air and looked, they had cameras outfitted in them, but it required an officer to be in that unit going up in the air, right? Sky watch, you call it. They said that that wasn't part of the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going up in it. They had to outfit the things with
you have cameras. A commissioner who's serious enough to tell them if you don't do it, you're going to lose your work. It will continue. Let me give you an example of the.
You couldn't get a more serious commissioner of police, in my opinion, than Philbert James. That man was serious, even looking at him. He looked serious. You understand? And he couldn't manage it either. Because guess what? There's always a thing called a union with people like who was heading it before? Watchman was head of it already. I can't remember the next guy name. And now it's Gideon Dixon. You understand? Yeah, those operations still exist. Those units still exist.
Let me give you an example of why this country is in the way it is. They passed a law called the electronic monitoring bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which opened the door for bail to be granted or the electronic monitors to be applied to persons who were accused of domestic violence situations to protect the women. Remember that?
Yes.
If
Yes.
charges were made, so the police would be advised if the person went within X meters of this alleged victim, so they
Right.
could respond, right? So, let me give you some information now. Between 2017 and 2023, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The number of court, or 290 requests were received for electronic monitoring applications, right? Now, this is a very important tool, right, in protecting women, and also the judiciary can use if they want to grant bail to somebody who is a high-risk suspect. You understand?
Right. Right.
219 were requested. 69 were recommended. Guess how much in the system working now after 5 years? Guess now. Yes,
5?
yes.
5?
40.
Okay. I do too well.
40.
Mm.
The number of persons who removed
Serious.
via order, 29. So you want to pass laws, you understand, to improve the system. And you're not even using it.
Mm.
So, okay, electronic monitoring is used all over the world to avoid over incarceration, you understand? And piling up remand, particularly with situations with domestic violence and other scenarios. And we're not even really using electronic monitoring in this country. So it's just like layer of incompetence over layer of incompetence over layer of incompetence. Why is electronic monitoring not being used more widely in this country? Why? And then you go here, well, if a question is raised, well, we've ordered 200 and they're on their way and we had to go through procurement and they're always going and do it. Like they now order scanner after scanner become obsolete. They always now do it or going to do it. I sat in the chamber for the last, yesterday, day before, and Friday. And with the greatest of respect, heard Minister Richie Sukai, who is a minister in the Ministry of Works and Transport, talk about PTSD. And I have to get everyone and go downstairs here. And this app that come in 18 months now, I feel that app could fly it to the moon when they finish. You understand?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to buy that all you're serious about modernizing PTSD. Really? Really? An app to tell you the bus coming?
15 years ago. 15 years ago in London, you could take out your phone and find out when the next bus coming.
And on every bus stop or train station is an electronic board or sign that tells you train 5 minutes away. Bus 2 minutes away. Bus A14 heading to San Fernando is 15 minutes away on time. We still at the wait, watch us. And
sometimes I wonder if our decision makers.
We're not serious.
We're not. And you have to have the will to get these things done. And I don't think anybody has
spend over $400 million in PTSD every year to serve under 4% of the population. What's the point?
Yeah. I wonder if our decision makers travel.
They do. There was a conference somewhere. Richard always says it. If you don't feel the people here deserve it or deserve more, the status quo continues.
Yeah.
It can't be that hard. It cannot be that hard. It's just incompetence. Massa said the water is all right. Go ahead, Richard.
Massa said what?
There was a false, fake voice note being circulated yesterday. I don't know why people just circulate these nonsense as they get to their shape, whether they know it's true or not. It's real ridiculous. That suggested that people should refrain from drinking pipe-borne water because it may result in illness. Apparently, there's an old voice note that started back again. While Topical statement saying that, well, that is not true. Forget that. Our water distribution system adheres to the guidelines to drinking water quality set out by the WHO.
I didn't get that one.
There seems to be some water issue going on in the Arima area again. I don't know.
I heard the AG also yesterday say that I was very happy to hear it, that legislation focusing on sexual harassment in the workplace is coming.
No?
Why not?
Did we go through that already?
No, we didn't. We have no law related to sexual harassment in the workplace. None. We have a policy.
You're joking.
I know many.
The ministry is a policy a couple of weeks ago.
No, but I know there are many business places, public and private, that have policies considering it.
They have policies. They have no law.
That's it. Okay.
Anyway, did you all see that? Did you all talk about that video with the two women beating up the other woman with the child?
Yes.
Richard, once I click on a video and it starts like that, I stop. I don't watch that video.
I saw it. And the woman attacked this woman.
The child crying is what motivated me to watch it. And I was like, where's this child? And then and I watched it. I must have watched it twice. And I mean that child crying,
because I call them swooped down on the woman who was walking, holding a child's hand, what seemed to be her child's hand. And they swooped down on her from behind and beat her while this child was trying to get close to his mother. And they didn't care about the child.
No. At one point, one of the women flung away the child. One point, one woman flung away the child.
But I didn't see that far. I looked at about 10 to 15 seconds of that video and then I stopped.
Yeah, she flung away the child at one point. She cursed. She cursed when she did. As part of the whole, But what a complete, ridiculous, and upsetting video. Very upsetting.
It's bad that you're beating another woman, but then you ignore the fact that her child is being traumatized through this also.
Screaming.
I always wonder about the person filming these videos.
And it's women too. You would think
and somebody was filming it too, right? When somebody was filming it and following them filming it. You're absolutely right.
I always wonder about that.
And put it up on social media for whatever reason, I don't know. To get likes or follows or whatever.
The woman. Is that true too? I heard they also put up the faces of the women. Clear pictures of the women who were involved in it.
I hope the police are investigating that.
One hopes the police is investigating it. One really hopes to, especially when one of them fling that child.
Do we have paternity leave in Trinidad and Tobago, Richard?
We do,
Yes.
I think we have some level of paternity.
A month.
Yeah.
I think it's a month.
It's about that. It's about that.
Okay. Legally, men could get paternity leave legally.
Yeah.
I think so.
Barbados is now looking to pass laws to give fathers paternity leave.
We have some measure of paternity leave.
I don't understand. Oh, I guess it's law, so it's private and public sector, right? Question mark.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, great.
I know that women readily claim theirs. I don't know that men actually claim theirs, but women I know do their 3 months, claim their 3 months.
Which is also quite limited,
Yeah.
But to leave your child after 3 months, many women say it's very difficult, but it's what you have to do.
I'm not too sure. Let me find out somebody who knows about maternity leave laws to be sure whether there is paternity leave.
I don't remember ever seeing paternity leave in the law books, but I could be wrong. Maybe people grant it as a discretion. Did you all also see the woman's car that was crushed by the fallen utility pole?
Yeah, I was asking where that happened. Where did that happen?
In Pleasantville.
Oh, okay.
It's like, wow.
The pics and the videos came without a caption, so I was wondering where
Thank
it
God
was.
she escaped injury. But that car was really badly. But that car right off, you know. Anyway, do you have papers, Raghubar Singh?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm saying something. I'm not so sure if we have legislatively, we have it. I'm seeing that the public sector gives you 4 days, but I'm not so sure. I'll have to ask somebody who deals with maternity leave to look at the law and get back to me.
Okay.
I know there is some sort of concession, but I'm not so sure if it's legal.
No.
Yeah.
It is Wednesday, the 25th of October. We're exactly 2 months from Christmas. Let's start with the Express. System overhaul to tackle trial delays. So says the Attorney General. Woman escapes death yesterday morning when a utility pole with transformers attached crashed onto her vehicle in Pleasantville. Fortunately, she escaped without injury. The struggle continues against gangs and crimes in the business and gangs and crime in the business sector. Windshield wiper man attacks on cop at traffic light.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, yeah?
Yeah, some of them get very irate if you tell them don't touch my car.
I put my hand up in the windscreen and I say, I'm okay.
I do it sometimes, but sometimes you don't want it because you just wash your car and they're still insisting. Okay, runaway car rams too.
What happened? Somebody fight with the driver or something?
They hit the driver with the wiper, the thing they wipe in the glass with. Whack and run.
Pitching for a man washing windscreens who used the cleaning tool to hit a motorist who refused the cleaning service he offered.
Well, this was
the motorist was a police officer who was at the time off duty in his private vehicle at Gulf City traffic light intersection. It occurred on Monday at 11:45 a.m.
Oh, is that something?
Yeah.
You so vex the man there, don't touch your car. That you hit him with your cloth or whatever it is.
Yeah, but nice and south.
It's a deep south thing.
Could be.
Because the washerman, the officer from Separia, and no doubt the washerman from deep south too.
Moving to the Guardian online, Farley, teacher won't pay for James's private charter home. Activists to fight for same-sex marriage laws in TNT. Narrow escape after pole and the transformers fall on woman's car. Registrar General blames worker for Tobago office impact. U.S. ambassador donates 40-bed field hospital ambulance to Tobago. Guyana warns against illegal buying and selling of gold. And RIC activates a calculator to measure new electricity rates. AG to invite DPP and heads of civil law department to meeting. I would imagine a meeting all the time. You have to invite them to a meeting. So let's move now to the Newsday Online for today. Senators hit NCIC, Senator NCIC hits vandalism. NCIC had appeals for respect and tolerance for religious cultures. Senate passes budget. Zoological Society to discuss court suggestion to designate Savannah environmental area. Chief Secretary THA will not pay for private aircraft. Guyana and Venezuela warn each other. This could incite violence. Ex-NIDCO head, no overpayment for Point Fortin highway extension. CAL increases domestic capacity in October. Kamla and UNC debunk illness rumors. And AG, Sting bill coming. And appeal court calls for legislative changes for noise pollution. And a picture of Gillian Lucky there. Justice Gillian Lucky, I should say.
That came out of a case earlier this week.
So those are trending stories in your Express, Guardian, and Newsday Online for today, Wednesday, October 25th, 2023.
That noise pollution thing is a big issue, you know. I know someone that lives next door to a bar, and on a Friday and Saturday, music doesn't stop until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and they blend it at high volume. They call the police. They've called
I live
EMA.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses from a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the noise on a Friday and a Saturday is
Mm-hmm.
disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Friday is worse than Saturday, actually, though. They actually stop at 3 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. But when I'm going to work at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, they're still making noise.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And I mean, you call the police, they can't do anything. You call EMA, they can't do anything.
And for
So
some
it's
reason,
like-
there's a lot of Latin music. Tung, 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 tung. A lot of
It's a world music.
a lot of Guantanamera. Sorry?
I said it's a world music bar.
World music bar. Thank you, Richard. Yeah.
Chiquitita, you and I know.
A lot of chiquititas also.
Just go along with it, Paul. Take a little dance. Good with your exercise as you walk.
That's all.
Well, there's a lot of dancing happening at 5 o'clock in the morning also.
Being old. Dance along, as you're saying. You're going
just
for a walk.
dance your way through. Dance your way
just
through
dance
the little
your
crowd.
way. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You're in the islands. You are in the islands. Come on.
You can't go Cuba then. Every street in Cuba is some party going on in downtown Havana.
So 5 o'clock in the morning?
Cubans don't stop liming and drinking and smoking and things.
It is 6:46. What is our question going to be this morning, sis?
We could, as we are on that topic, we could deal with it. Noise pollution.
Or sexual harassment in the workplace?
Or that too, yeah. Both of them quite very valid. And
Do you agree with laws to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace?
Yeah, because men are sexually harassed too, eh?
Yes, I've complained many times.
So let's go with that. Why? You're not typing, Paul, or are you frozen?
The doubles vendors are constantly dropping doubles for you does not constitute sexual harassment, Steve.
No. Okay. Yeah. Let me wipe that one out. I thought Gaylan would bring some doubles me this morning, but she did not.
Gaylan.
Why you bring up Gaylan's name and we talk?
I don't know. It's almost like if he exposing me.
I don't understand that.
Talking about that, I missed a call from Corey. Yes, I have to call him back.
No, I spoke to Corey yesterday. We had a nice good long talk. We just all
I think it's
blagging.
yesterday, so I missed a call from him.
Yeah.
Come back and all he wanted now.
No, we're just all blagging, catching up.
Okay. I have to call him back today.
On live.
All right, so here we got the question, guys.
I have a message for you, Richard. It says, tell Richard, stop being mean to you, Steve, with his doubles jokes.
Steve, would you care to give us the result of the poll tomorrow?
I don't have it.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Nyla.
Is it,
you know your brother well.
And is the new messaging system that you and Ruben are assiduously working on finished or close to finishing? Or is it the same designer and producer as PTSC's app?
Yeah, it's like pulling teeth.
Okay. So our question this morning is, do you agree with new laws to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace in Trinidad and Tobago? Yes or no? There is a woman who works at an energy company who has approached me on at least 3 occasions and told me with her mother and told me about a story a situation she's encountered for at least 4 years, and begging for these kinds of laws to pass in Trinidad and Tobago because of what she's had to endure.
But we have had people at a high level removed from cabinets because of that. Not so? At least 2. One directly and one indirectly. In 2 different cabinets.
Well, the one I know about is not because of that. It's because
All right. So our morning poll. Do you agree with new laws to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace? Yes or no? 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Got some messages already coming through. Good morning to Faria Hayatali, Rena Budu Jennings, Gabriella Samson, good morning. Scorpion Pepper, Mrs. R. Alistair Hart, Mogains, good morning. Wayne B says yes to the poll. Alan Reese says yes. CJ from New York, yes. Trini in Boston, yes. RPL.
Don't read that message. That's an insulting, disrespectful message.
Okay. What Nyla is saying.
RPL, romantic, passionate lover. I am not going to read any more of your messages.
What
Wayne
Nyla,
Joseph.
what Nyla said.
In the future.
I
just told you what Nyla said.
No, she said in the US, as employees, we have to view presentations on sexual harassment in workplace and take a quiz on it, what constitutes it, examples on how to report it, etc. She said that's part of what they have to do in terms of being in an environment, a work environment.
Yeah. Wayne Joseph says yes from Ontario, Canada. Mo Gaines out in Aruka says yes, most definitely. Alistair Hart says yes. Carol Guevara says yes. Dana Medina says yes. Julia S. Batiste says yes. What says you, caller?
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandy, yes.
Thank you, Grandy. Have a good one. Morning, Lorna. Morning, Indy. Morning, Carly. Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys.
Richard, you want to expand a bit on what you just said that Nyla said there?
No, what she just said that, you mean repeat it?
Yeah, repeat it.
She said in the US, as employees, we have to view presentations on sexual harassment in the workplace and take a quiz on it. What constitutes it, examples, and how to report it. Because what you may think is not sexual harassment may actually be sexual harassment. Some people, the line can be blurry for some people.
And especially based on what had become cultural acceptance.
You know what's an interesting question that I have? Do you have to be in the person's presence for it to be constituted as sexual harassment? Or can it be done online?
Because I have a friend who has received numerous unsolicited messages from a senior organization that she's asked to be stopped that has not stopped.
Oh, right.
So you have to be, you understand? People could be sending unsolicited advances to you, and you understand? So that's part of it too.
You know why I'm asking that? Because the age-old story excuse that, well, somebody else had my phone, or it wasn't me, or something.
You're responsible for your phone. You're responsible for your phone.
Ish out in Malik says yes. C is for Cookie. That's good enough for me. Cookie Monster out in Beach. Good morning to you, Cookie Monster in Beach. Jerron Joseph, yes to the poll.
And we take some cultural change too, because the things we're accustomed to seeing in the workplace, like, ooh, that skate look good, girl. That skate hold you good, girl. You understand?
Yeah.
People say that. People say that.
Yes.
You would not believe what people say. When you go,
that blouse fits you well, girl.
There are young ladies that work in stores that are constantly harassed, but cannot do anything because they need the job. They need the money.
More than that, I know in some casinos, women are told that skirt is too long.
Yeah.
That blouse is too loose. Unbutton the top button. They're told that. You understand? What you feel in church? Stuff like that happens.
Yeah. Men are told sometimes, what is that, a phone in your pocket?
You have been told that, Wendell?
But it was a phone.
I still want to say something, but oh my God, no.
Richard, take with.
Oh, we have Chef Joanne Joseph. Good morning, Chef Joanne Joseph.
Why we just always joke about serious things?
The chef
because it's a morning show. Because it's a morning show. Okay? You can make people laugh for the morning. What's the point?
We need to have a show after midnight, yes. So thank you so much, Chef. She said
that could be considered sexual harassment. Why you want that show after midnight?
True.
You understand? What you want to do after midnight, you can't do 7 o'clock in the morning. You go and tell a female employee, we need to have a show after midnight. See what happened to you. You didn't think of that,
No. Most welcome, Chef Joanne Joseph. Mo Gaines. Good one, Richard. All right.
Your mother takes your time and make you girl. Stuff like that.
Yes.
You know that?
Yeah,
God take your time with you, girl.
God take your time.
God take your time with you, girl. Yeah, I like to see you leaving as opposed to arriving. Oh, yeah, we have so much innuendo in this country. And when they're frightened, I mean, men get catcalls too, all kind of thing.
Yeah, I get all it.
I have a friend who Richard knows well. He's a victim of that a lot.
You mean women can't call again?
Yeah?
But sometimes we always think it's men against women. Sometimes it's women against women. Sometimes it's women against men. Sometimes it's men against men. You understand?
That's what I say. It happens
across the board.
All different manners, all different ways.
Yeah.
And some people like him, I say, they get both female and male harassment.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, when they see Paul Richards, I will be saying
morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Women harassing women on the job place serious now, and women harassing men on the job place serious now.
How you know this? You only job place these days?
No worry, why is that, man? Will you just be?
You always have, Mr. Patrick, you have to like you know, you always have examples that you can bring to any situation.
Listen,
yes.
I know a friend when I report an incident to a boss lady, but a harassment with a lady. And you know the boss lady and the lady was good too. It was good thing, good friend too, and they fired your man. That's going on all the time out there. So we're making it look like the only man harassing no man.
We never said that, Mr. Patrick.
Right? So the answer yes, bring legislation. But what woman harass me?
You want women harass you?
That's wrong with that. You're a healthy man.
Oh, you're a healthy man. And how would your wife feel about that?
You've got low self-esteem, Mr. Patrick.
Since you're a healthy man.
You talking about low self-esteem. You're going to have to.
Wow.
Well, you say you want women harass you, know?
No. I am meaning in that derogatory way, Wendell.
It's not. I didn't mean it in a derogatory way either.
All right, Wendell. Have a pleasant day. All right.
Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
What? Pull up your.
All right, we have a minute and a half again. Do you agree with new laws to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace? That is all. Yes or no? Beefy Smith out in Tobago. It's a warm one for you, Beefy. Yes, I agree.
Just yesterday, I told a colleague that her skirt accentuated her legs.
That is sexual harassment.
That is sexual harassment, you understand?
In the parliament, you do that? You're brave.
There's no law.
I always got Steve. I love your doubles belly.
And they laughed. They said,
trying
I
to
would
think.
say,
And they go,
bring a charge against you.
Ulrich Murray says, morning, Wendell. I love how you handled
Who's that?
the motor mouth cock. What?
Who's that?
Edwin Marshall.
All right. Ulrich has voted no, eh?
Yeah.
You're recording, Wendell, right?
See Ulrich Murray, who's operating right there on Park Street.
Operate
I
what?
think that was the guy there.
Good morning,
I
caller.
heard from
Good morning.
Morning, definitely, yes.
Oh.
Mrs. Aria, sorry. Mrs. Aria.
Morning, Mrs.
you
R.
just do a little harassing yourself, you know. You know that,
My life.
Mrs. R.
Yeah, that is
Mrs. R.
sexual harassment against Richard.
What
To
is
Richard, you
sexual
know.
harassment? What is sexual harassment? I hear Wendell shouting something. What Wendell saying there?
I said, aren't you also guilty of a little harassment sometimes?
At all.
Well, I want to harass so much now, but like, I don't know, boy. I don't know what to make out of, boy. It's different. It's real different out here. But it is what it is. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, my
All
love
right.
of my
Good
life.
morning, Mrs. R.
Thank you, Mrs. R. Good morning, caller.
She knows
Good
exactly
morning,
what
caller.
I'm speaking about.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
We first have to differentiate what the line between sexual harassment and
Let me help you with that, Zina. You do it all the time.
I do it all the time. Well, then
All the time.
you want us to live in a damn cold world that nobody can say nothing to nobody, and that is why there's so many women out in America suffering.
Snow on the roof, but fire burning inside, all kind of thing. We just be here, we have all your coats, you know.
That is not sexual harassment. That is pleasantries. What the hell you're telling me about? You want us to talk in the morning?
You know, it's a good thing you retired, yes? Let me tell you. You go in that company and say, you're under those pleasantries.
Yeah, nobody can harass me in the workplace. I put you in your damn place, I hit your box. If you get out of line.
No, okay?
And done the story. Where the hell you going with any story after that? I have to get a law for man to harass me. No, I agree with it. Shit.
All right.
You must say no.
No.
And I hope yesterday I listened to the replay. You, Mr. Paul, yes, I have bats in my backyard because I have a lot of sweet fruits that they love to come and bite. Sure. Richard, you got my
I did. I got your message.
She has sweet
sure, or let's sit down somewhere drinking.
They have sweet. She has sweet fruits that they want to come and bite, yes?
Paul, you famous for sexual harassment. Yeah.
You are making allegations that I refute, madam. I refute those allegations, madam.
I'll tell you that. But he jumping on me.
Here we go again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole disposition is such.
Let me leave that to you.
Anyway, it's
all right.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Sexy San Fernando says yes to the poll. Let's get into our major news, shall we? Avis and Helbabizet.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The Senate passes Budget 2024. Dr. Amory Brown and Independent Senator Duru Timal speak out against acts of vandalism at Hindu temples. The government pleads with the opposition to support the crime fight, and WASA assures water produced is safe. Details in a moment. This is News 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintel Bob. Good morning. The Senate passed Budget 2024 on Tuesday evening after presentations by 11 speakers, including a wrap-up by Finance Minister Colm Imbert. During his contribution, Imbert claimed the opposition was hurting from the fact that the government introduced no new taxes in the budget, such as a fabled millionaire tax. He claimed there was no scope to increase the personal allowance again, as he noted a previous 50% rise in his tax break from an initial $5,000 per month to a current $7,500 figure, which he said put an extra $900 per month in the pockets of a typical security guard. He suggested the way ahead is to grow the economy, diversify, innovate, and get new revenue streams. Acts of vandalism against places of worship are being strongly condemned by Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Emery Brown, who warns these incidents can negatively affect the normally peaceful nature enjoyed in the country. Contributing to the budget debate on Tuesday in the Senate, Dr. Brown said all should be done to maintain and preserve peace in the nation.
Categorically and completely condemn any attacks and all attacks of vandalism against temples, places of worship in Trinidad and Tobago of any shape or form. Complete and total condemnation. We are peaceful, loving people in this country, and we have to preserve that.
He said many visitors to Trinidad and Tobago have made positive comments about the tranquility and hospitality usually demonstrated here and are impressed by it.
That, Mr. President, when I have cause to speak to a lot of visitors to this country, mainly diplomats and others of various walks of life, and the first thing they say about Trinidad and Tobago is the way we are able to get along with each other. The first thing they say is how warm and hospitable we are. We have to preserve and protect that, and those types of descriptives that I heard and the acts of vandalism threaten that precious reality.
Meanwhile, Independent Senator Duru Timal yesterday urged the police not to dismiss the acts of desecration directed at Hindu temples as the work of a vagrant or mentally disturbed person. He noted that to take alcohol and meat into a temple deliberately to desecrate that temple calls for a high level of organization and thinking from vagrants and mentally disturbed persons. Timal said as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago and one who follows the Hindu tradition, he condemned the act of desecration of the Ramlila ground in Taruba, as well as the throwing of stones at the school which is housed within a temple complex in Kuva. He said over the past 3 years, there has been a string of incidents regarding the desecration of temples, with reports made to police. Separately, he said public trust and confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is affected due to corruption. Contributing to the budget debate on Tuesday, Mr. Timal said officers who continue to carry out their duties faithfully and professionally must be commended. However, he claimed with millions of dollars being allocated to the TTPS, all should be done to ensure the country gets value for money.
Imagine we have to form special units within the TTPS of vetted police officers, pay them more in order to do the job that the police service is supposed to be doing in the first place. It's an admission of corruption because it means that there are corrupt police officers in sufficient numbers in the police service to affect the performance of the police service.
Mr. Timal also gave his views on other areas such as the property tax, local government reform, the ease of doing business, education, the National Planning Authority, drainage, and diversification.
What diversification that we are aiming to build capacity for is a bit difficult because it is scattered throughout the documents, and there's no clear, at least I did not find it, clear, concise diversification roadmap, if I am to coin a term, that clearly tells us this is what the government intends with regards to diversification, the areas of diversification, the goals of those areas of diversification, what are the objectives that we are trying to meet.
Opposition support has been cited as vital when it comes to the passage of legislation that can bring substantial change in the fight against crime. Minister in the Office of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs, Renuta Sagram Singh Sukalal, said the government cares, wants to make inroads in addressing crime, and is urging the opposition to rally behind the ruling administration in terms of backing legislation.
And I simply want the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, yes, we on the government bench acknowledge that we have very far to go in our fight against crime. We have very, very far to go, but your government cares, and your government, we are asking for the support of the opposition when it comes to certain pieces of legislation that may very well have to trample, that may trample on the rights of the accused, that may trample on the rights of citizens, that could benefit in the fight against crime. We ask.
You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. False, speculative, based on opinion, and not supported by any scientific testing to the water quality. This is how Water and Sewage Authority has described an old, misleading, and unsubstantiated voice note recording currently in circulation, admonishing the public to refrain from drinking pipe-borne water because it may result in illness. WASA says the authority responded to the situation previously on March 7th last year. The utility says it performs ongoing sampling and testing of the water it produces throughout Trinidad and Tobago. It assures customers the water currently being supplied through its distribution system complies with the guidelines for drinking water quality of the World Health Organization and is safe for use. The authority has launched an investigation into these claims. Finally, here is weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago initially fair, becoming partly cloudy with occasional light to moderate showers and medium chance of heavy showers or thunderstorm activity. Nighttime, partly cloudy with few showers and low chance of an isolated thunderstorm. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 26 at Piarco and 30 at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, the Senate passes Budget 2024. Dr. Amory Brown and Independent Senator Duru Timal speak out against acts of vandalism at Hindu temples. Government pleads for opposition support in crime fight, and WASA assures water produced is safe. I'm Afril Sandhill Bab. That was News to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news and detail coming up at 12 noon today and an update at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Avril, for our major news. You can join her again come at 8 o'clock for our news brief. And then with Sir Charles later on at noon for another major newscast. It's 30 degrees and Crown Point already. 30. Wow. All right. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Let's see. San Fernando, you're lighter than usual. Golaconda Connector Road is your heavy spot this morning. And of course, let's see. Headed up northbound on the Solo, got nothing to tell you about until you get to Rivulet Road, a bit busy. Chase Village, got a little traffic. Shoguanas Main Road, Charlieville, towards the interchange. You've got it. Endeavor, passing Chin Chin Road to Ibis Gardens also. Kelly Village is heavy. Ibis Gardens to Curep and an extension up to the Southern Main Road also a bit heavy. Traffic from Piarco towards UE and Curep towards Port of Spain. Eastern Main Road, at least you're moving now. Lady Young Road going up to the walkover, you've got it. Maraval, Automoka, Diego Martin, same thing. All right, out of the west, that's pretty much it. All right, so that's your traffic update for you. Hope it helped you out. Right, so let's get the results of our morning poll. Got a couple of votes. Marvel on the road says yes. Beauty Culture says yes. Scorpion Pepper says yes. Ulrich Murray says yes. Wendell, good morning. Okay. All right. So there we go, gentlemen. Let's get the results of our morning poll.
Right, sorry about that. My apologies. 21 people. Our poll was: do you agree with me?
Right?
Sorry,
you got the ones I just gave you, right?
Yeah. I looked through the comments and I put them down.
Okay.
21 people said yes, they agreed. 2 said no. 21 said yes, 2 said no. And morning, Ulrich. Long time I haven't seen or heard from you. Good to hear from you. Good that you're on the show. He's an old Power Breakfast Show fan, way back in the Gladiator days. I think we
saw Mr. Porter Monday.
Yes. Okay, I haven't seen or heard from him either in a while.
Sorry, Monday. Looking good there, Mr. Porter Spain.
All right. And Beauty Culture said some say there's a thin line between a compliment and sexual harassment. But to me, sexual harassment is accompanied by a kind of tone, look, and sometimes touch. Might be correct. Some people mask their sexual harassment very well too. They mask it very well, you know. But you're right. There is a thin line between compliment and harassment. You know, it depends on how the person receives it. If the person doesn't want it or tells you, "I don't appreciate it," then you know that's sexual harassment.
Then cease and desist. Usually, sexual harassment laws come with more than one case. Because if the person told you, "I don't appreciate it," or they don't tell you anything, or they don't respond, then you continue. So it's unwanted, continuous advances.
Yeah.
So one office hardly ever considered. Well, I may not say that because somebody could hold you down in an office 2 on 1 case. You understand? So I mean not say that, but in terms of verbally. So
or they could force you because they know is your job depends on it, or you want a house or some kind of thing. So they could try to force you. You know, they could use some kind of intimidation
at very high levels that people say, well, if you want a promotion, you have to comply with X and Y. They'll tell you, or you want a promotion, you know what you have to do.
Yep. That.
So it's quite interesting. So I guess we could open the phone. I see Steve trying to call somebody.
All right. I just want to remind people, of course, that theater is on this weekend. Nikki, 50ish and Hot AF is on. It's the final show in this series of shows that Nikki Crosby has been doing across the country. One show only this weekend, Saturday night at Cipriani College. Of course, tickets are available at the Cipriani College box office from today, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, tickets available at our usual outlets across the East-West corridor, from Creme Fresh in Chagonas, which has tickets already, to Electronics, Chamfley Auto Services in Chamfley, Electronics in Arima, Fens of Marabella in Piarco Plaza, K-Squared Fashions in West Mall and East Gates, Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna, and Tony's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza. All of these are places where you can get tickets, including Crosby's in St. James, which is her namesake. So Nikki Crosby, final performance of Hotish, 50ish and Hot AF is on this weekend, one night only, Saturday night. You should get your tickets early. This is the final performance, and I was telling them yesterday, Wendell, that, one of the seasoned people who came backstage when she did the show at one of the venues said this should be like a Netflix special. She said the quality was so high. The standard of the production is so high. He said it's like watching a Netflix special on stage. And he said it should be filmed and marketed to them. Because she's that good. It's really the production elements and all of the things that go along with what she's saying. It is a performance. I'm telling you, you should not miss it. And it's your last opportunity on Saturday. And finally, I want to tell Port of Spain, finally, Bacchanal bubble and bad behavior comes to Port of Spain. We have not been to Port of Spain yet. We finally come to Port of Spain next week, Saturday, the 4th and 5th of November at Napa. So we'll be at Napa on the 4th and 5th of November. Bacchanal bubble and bad behavior. It is, I mean, I don't even want to talk about the kind of reviews. You could go on RSR Productions theater page and see. People come backstage after and their eyes are wet. They say they laugh so much they are crying. I kid you not. It is a hilarious play. This one is above funny. If you think the rest were funny, this one is above funny. So it's at Napa next week. Tickets go on sale from Friday at all our usual outlets, which are pretty much similar to the outlets I just told you. But from Friday, they'll get the tickets for Bacchanal Bubble and Bad Behavior. But you should not miss Nikki. You should not miss it. She is brilliant. And you should not miss that. Trust me, you will not regret it. You will thank me. That's one of the comments on Facebook this morning. A woman who came to the show, Nikki's show, she put a comment saying that everybody should see this show and you will thank me after. It is so funny and really real life situations that Nikki's talking about. But it's hilarious. So, chock full of theater as we
all right, we have a call. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Yeah, Wendell, morning again. Everybody, morning. Whether people read and other understand language and words, I can remember I was in a court matter and a judge made a statement. He said, even telling somebody good morning and they don't like it is harassment. So if somebody tell you, don't tell them good morning, don't tell them good morning. You understand that, right? Wendell?
I think that judge is being overly dramatic.
I listen there. I don't know that telling somebody good morning. Mr. Patrick, I don't know that telling somebody good morning could ever be constituted as harassment.
Whether the judge said
but
that
go ahead. I listen there.
So because the judge said it's the gospel.
If the person tell you, don't tell me morning, don't tell me nothing. Why you insist you have to tell the person something? That is provocation.
I am sorry. Office requires a certain amount of courtesy and telling somebody good morning. Nobody can tell you not to tell them good morning if you are brought up that way. And because the judge said, don't make it right or perfect.
No.
But judge is God.
Well, right. If I tell you, don't tell me good morning, and you insist every time you see me, you telling me good morning, where are you doing it?
Carry me to court.
You see where we reached to now? They are guys and girls. Don't tell me good morning.
I tell you good morning is offensive to you, when I walk into an office or a room, I am trained to say good morning.
I could see it having some contextual relevance if there is a back history of that person harassing that person. And if it is,
and they're using that as
and there is some sort of sexual undertones all the time, and they said, please have no communication with me because I'm uncomfortable with any communication from you with me because I feel it's sexual, I think it could result that even a good morning could be construed as harassment. Because I've already indicated to you that I am uncomfortable with you communicating with me. Yeah.
I understand what Richard just said.
You know harassment, it could be a positive thing and a negative thing.
I can't have harassment can't be positive. I'm sorry, I can't agree with you there. Harassment is harassment.
I could harass somebody to do the correct thing.
Mr. Patrick, you can encourage somebody to do the correct thing, but the use of the word harassed is a bit ambiguous.
It's negative.
It's a negative. In the Bible text, where provoke people unto good works. Provoke people unto good works.
Lord Father.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
We just talk things that other people to read and get more knowledge of vocabulary to explain things. So we see everything we see negative. Everything we see
Mr.
negative.
Patrick, you just now say a judge tell you just telling somebody good morning constitutes harassment.
Yes,
and now you're saying you can harass people positively.
No. When you misquoted right television. I am saying the judge say if telling somebody good morning or hello or whatever, and they say, hey, has nothing to do with me, don't tell me nothing, and you persistent doing it, that is harassment, like provocation. Because something happened with you and that person that's only not on good terms.
Well, Richard just explained that. So Richard just gave an example, but we understand that.
If you have a child or a friend, and you want to see them go a straight line and they're doing something negative, and you keep telling them, when you see them, hey, go that way, do the correct thing. It's a form of harassment, but it's a positive thing. Because you want to see them go the correct way.
It's a form of encouragement. It's a form of encouragement.
Yeah, all right. You change the word to suit you. Right?
All right.
Change the word to suit you. At the end of the day.
That's all right. Because you are harassing me right now. What you're doing could constitute harassment.
I go. Sorry. I don't want to do harassment.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. I tuned in. I'm trying to see what policy poll you all have. I'm seeing it going across the screen. So anyway, you're taking calls on.
Go ahead.
Right? Okay. What the poll is? Hello.
Do you believe that new laws to protect against sexual harassment in the workplace? Do you agree with new laws?
That new laws could be. Look, I'll pass.
Should be implemented against sexual harassment.
Harassment? Well, yes, because it's getting prevalent. So, yes, they need to put something more in place. Right. Let me move on. I want to talk about two things. First, the Wassa tragic death of that guy. When I saw that on the television the night, I think I heard it on the news, my mind went back to 50 years ago on St. Lucian Road in Diego Martin. I can't believe Wassa, with all the OSHA Act we have out there, this incident could repeat itself. You know, man, this thing, I call my sister, people who grew up in Diamond Vale, oh God, Olia, you remember what happened to this boy brother? That incident happened on St. Lucian Road. 3 men, I'm not sure if all 3 died, but I know one of the guys who we grew up with, he used to come across in the Vale and party and thing. He died. And I'm saying, Lord Jesus, how could this happen again in 2023, Wassa? No, this is unbelievable. If that boy's mother is still alive, I could imagine when she saw that how it brought back that sad day when she lost her son. Oh my God. Right. Wassa, please, all you do something. And don't let this inquiry drag on like the Paria up to now. The chairman can give you a report. Next thing is with Marcia Air Caesar. When I saw what went on, when I heard Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj press conference, I cringed as an ordinary citizen. I say, Lord, if that could happen to her, because he talked about procedure, what will happen to an ordinary citizen? Lord, put your 2 hands and your 2 feet in this country. And that is why I'll keep saying, Helon Francis, you'll have to rewrite that calypso. We're not mighty, we joke when these things happen. You all have a blessed day.
All righty. Thank you. Good morning, caller. Oopsie. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm sure all of us have seen the video with Mrs. Johnson. Wendell, you know what I'm speaking about?
No.
There's a Jamaican skit with a woman and call Mrs. Johnson. Good morning, and he always addresses her. Good morning, Mrs. Johnson. With a sexual
the man, is a pastor? Is a pastor?
You want to water she garden and all the different stuff. Yes.
Yes, I've seen it. I don't like it though, I have to tell you.
Well, yes, but just the good morning, Mrs. Johnson, could be done in a sexual tone. So, in good morning, done. It could be a sexual advancement. So it could be considered sexual harassment. You understand? So
I know the
if I
skit
just
you're talking
remember
about.
that, right? Yeah, and while you were talking, Mr. I remember that skit, and I'm like, wait a minute. Good morning, Mrs. Johnson. It could be construed as sexual advance, so
Do me a favor, Lincoln. Lincoln,
yes?
send one for me quickly. Let me send it to Paul so he could play it, because so people can get an idea what you're talking about. It's radio friendly, but you're right. The way he does it, the way he does it is harassment.
Yes,
So you can
right?
send it for me now.
So I will look for it now.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Know what he's speaking about.
No idea. Yeah. We have another call. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, Dr. Paul.
Good morning, ma'am.
Wendell. And good morning to Richard.
Morning.
So I agree, yes, there should be more legislation on sexual harassment, but something like, I am thinking some along the line as, so somebody can't just compliment you for the morning. So if your dress looks good on you, the guy can't say, oh, lady, nowadays, can't say, you're looking real good in that dress, I don't see anything wrong with that. So I don't know when people want to take that as sexual harassment. I find that is so kind of low, to want to have a better word. I don't agree with that at all, because when I was working every day, and I didn't have no comment about it, there was a teacher who comes in every day, and he would kiss me on my cheeks. The man have his wife. I was single at that time. And I didn't feel how about it. The principal never spoke about it. And none of the teachers ever complained about it. But that could have been constituted as sexual harassment.
Well, no, the law usually states if it's unwanted or if it's offensive to the person receiving the attention.
Yeah.
So because it didn't offend you, it's not going to be, you're not going to file a claim, or the office not going to say sexual harassment. If you were kissed on your cheek the first time and you told him, listen, I don't appreciate that, and he continued, then it would kick in.
Yeah.
Right.
And generally, generally instinctively as a human being too, when people are being polite, and when people are giving you innuendo,
Yeah,
one man can be telling you, I find you look very beautiful this morning, and another man could say, I like how that dress fits in you, especially on top.
Yeah. Well, if that was
you could feel the innuendo of the sexual connotation.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they kind of mean it, but you take it in a, like for me, I would talk for me. Yeah, man, if that were the case, for the last 11 years that I worked, I would rather be filing claim, right, you?
But you don't sound like somebody that didn't want it.
I took it in good stride. Yes, Wendell?
I don't think there's a woman out there who has not been harassed, honestly,
Yeah.
I honestly believe there's not a woman out there who's not been harassed. Not that all men have harassed women, Not that all men have harassed women, but I don't think there's a woman who has not been harassed.
Yeah.
I don't believe I was harassed.
Yeah, because you may not have found it offensive and you may not have felt threatened by it. So it may not come under the definition of whatever the law, as Paul just explained, with regard to you feel offended and you have told the person, look, I don't really like
what you do.
Yeah, what you're doing. So could you please stop?
Yeah, inappropriate touch. So that those things never happen. But general comments, genuine comments, and from more than one, 3-4 male teachers will tell me the same thing. And I take it in stride, as a compliment, So I mean, there are things that happen in true, and I know people who it has been done too. So I know laws have to come to strengthen it and let people pay for that, for the fastness, some of them, for the fastness, So anyway.
What else happens?
All right.
Women, there are women who also, I have had women complain to me about them being harassed in places where they work. And in a lot of instances is with the corporation, right? Either whether they work in some one of the divisions or whatever. And the first question I ask them is, have you told the person you do not like it? A lot of them don't, They have not told the person they don't like it, But they know they're being harassed. They don't like it and they know they're being harassed. But they don't say
because
anything.
sometimes people feel intimidated to actually tell the person that. So that's why you have to have a robust HR policy where you don't have to tell the person. You could go to HR and then HR tell.
Or if the person is in a superior power dynamic position in the organization, and you feel if you respond to them negatively, that your job or your livelihood may be under threat. You know, all those things are considerations, you know, and the Richard is right. If you don't have a robust policy that's enforced as part of your HRM situation, then you can have problems.
You have a call, gentlemen. Good morning.
A call back in. I want to say, I believe in the old adage, words are win, but you see blows, that is what unkind. Don't touch me. If I don't want you to touch me, don't touch me. So that is when we will fight. So I don't know if you telling me something, and so look, if it's so all them workmen on the roadside going to be charged for sexual harassment because
no, but they don't work with you. That's the difference. In a workplace means in a work environment, they don't work with you. They're on a different work site. That's a different situation. But in some countries, catcalling is against the law, actually. Yeah?
Yep. Well, this is why I'm saying some countries, the behavior is very weird and strange. Because if you going down the road, you passing anywhere, or even where you're working, nobody ain't give you no compliment. Well, then you have to go and look at yourself in a mirror and go for some kind of plastic surgery.
So you need compliments to self-esteem, are you saying?
You need validation.
You need validation all the time that if somebody ain't give you a cat call, you feel something wrong with you.
You just know feminism about 20 years.
Other than your husband or your boyfriend, somebody must.
If you have to get validation from somebody, something wrong.
And self-worth 20 years. Every time you go outside, you need validation.
You need somebody to tell you something for you to feel good, really?
But it have women like that all. You stop pretending.
Yeah, too much.
I ain't saying do it. I'm saying that is indicative of potentially indicative of your sense of self-worth. If you had somebody and tell you nice when you wrote something wrong.
Some harassment in my ears. A call to make a contribution. Listen to what I have to say.
You're not responding to your contribution. Was supposed to agree with you all the time?
Yet I have not. I am still speaking. So that is sexual harassment too. Listen to me. Some women they're just bloody prude. You understand? You just have to discern what is what. And as I tell you, some people they're too petty. The courthouse full of bicycle case already that can't go forward. Or they don't let me clock up the courthouse anymore now. You understand me? Women use your mouth if you can't. You don't like what a man telling you. Told him
even that what you just said, like sexual woman use your mouth if you don't like what a man telling you. That's sexual harassment.
Protection.
Every day. If people judge you from your mouth, you used to go live in the courthouse. So you better hush your mouth.
I am in the highest courthouse.
Well, they're gonna have to bring me up if it's so. Good morning, darling.
I'm accustomed to you.
Yeah. But there is legislative, you need some level of legislative empowerment for people in those vulnerable situations.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling you guys from Orlando. Listen.
Hey, Orlando. Morning.
Gentlemen, Mr. Richard, sir, with all due respect, I think no matter how many times, how many nice words you add to this thing saying good morning, never makes it incorrect or improper that you can just show up for work and don't say good morning or somebody say good morning to you. Listen to me. I'm an airline pilot. I fly for the airline. I fly with a crew. And one of the criteria in training is that you must, when you show up for work, you will greet everyone. Whether you have a problem with the other person, you deal with that off the work because you're part of the crew. Your performance is required. When part of it is depending on you, you can't say, well, I feel this person is being sexually harassing me or something because they said good morning. When you say good morning, first of all...
No, that's not what we meant. Right. We meant there maybe have been a history in the situation of that person.
Well, even if there's a history, you work it out.
Nope. You are absolutely wrong. If you're in a if there's a history and it has been reported to HR, and HR has indicated.
Let me finish and I'll listen to you. When you have a problem with in the airline industry, that's why I could talk about it. You are supposed to make a written report, and it's been dealt with over there. But the day you take it on board the aircraft, where people's lives are matter, you and all will be fired. The thing is, when you say good morning, it shows maturity. It shows you're professional, you're ready, you're in sound mind, and you're ready. You're checking in for work, and you're in a frame of mind to do all your training. That's all everything you've been trained to do. So when you come to work, it shows maturity. You are a mature person. If somebody is harassing you, we have a place where you go report it, and it's dealt with. You will never go on the airline at the airport in Piaco, any airport you're going to. And if you see a attendant in an argument for one say that you're in sexual harassment, fighting on the airplane, 2 of them will be fired. They'll be dismissed. As the lady said, some people are too petty. They're too petty and concerned, and they're too selfish, and they think life is around them. No. It doesn't work so. It's not about you have all the rights and all this nonsense. When you come to work, you're checking in as a professional. All right, nice conversation. Richard, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, and that's all fine.
I would be interested.
That's all fine in a normal context. But if there is some sort of history between two persons, especially when one is in a lower position and they have complained to HR that I feel I'm getting sexual advances, and they may not be being petty, there may actually be sexual advances in that situation, because you can't generalize and say somebody's being petty. If it is that there is some substance of what somebody is saying, HR can tell the other person, look, please have no interaction with X, because it's being received in a particular way because of a historical context. And
let me add to that. And that also, you have to remember that even if the situation was legally resolved in the organization, because of the history, the alleged victim or the victim could still be psychologically affected by the person even greeting them in a benign way, because there was a history. So you have to take all of the consideration. It may be legally resolved in the organization, but because of the trauma experienced by the person prior to that, even a good morning could be traumatic to that person.
Yeah.
I also got a guy.
I mean, in a fight situation, I assume they wouldn't roster you.
They wouldn't roster you together. Exactly.
Right. But I gather what the pilot was saying is that once you carry that on board the plane where there are other people's lives at risk, then you'll both be fired. That's why I got it from him.
And then the organization should say, because of the history, we won't roster these people together again.
Exactly.
Right. That can be done. That's
what would happen. I assume that's what would happen in a situation like that. Because even in an organization, if you have to put teams together to do a project, but there is some level of toxicity between two people because of whatever history, you're not going to put them on the same team.
Yeah.
That's just common sense.
Yeah. Paul and I on the same team, how much years now? 3 years now. Are we surviving?
More than that.
By the way, where my Ginny Army, brother? How are you moving to? Where's that?
It's in the car.
I have US dollars, I have CDs too,
And there's no requirement to pay for that.
Okay, well, look at that. There's that kind of harassment, Richard. They're kind of undertoning that. I don't want to cash.
Sorry, I have problems hearing what you're saying.
Watch. You're safe. You're very safe.
I can't be a witness. Sorry, what?
Wendell, you are the most safe person on the planet.
You're all muted.
You are the most safe person on the planet. You couldn't be.
The man just tell me, Richard, I do have to pay for something he paid for. He just tell me that on national radio. You heard it? Go on.
And who asked for it first? Who asked for it first?
I did. And
did you bring it up?
And I asked me
exactly. Thank you. Recorded.
I don't watch our saying good morning. No,
that's right. That's right. When Steve disappeared too, we can't even take a call.
Oh, where he disappeared
And
too.
let me tell you something. When we turn off that camera, he's get furious, you know.
Yeah.
You know, some days get furious, you know. Or if we talking when the poll going on, furious, you know.
You moody for so. Reminds me of anyway.
Stop. Okay. Need to let it go. Let it go. Yeah.
So how do we take a call?
We don't. We have to continue talking. You understand?
But I did send you 2 videos from. I got one from Chris Venda and one from Lincoln.
And they both are coming up as copyrighted and unable to play.
Okay. Oh, can't play it. All right.
Yeah.
I get WhatsApp then.
No, I got it WhatsApp. I got the videos, but when I tried to load it, the program is saying copyrighted material. Get clearance first.
Because it's coming straight from YouTube. That's why.
Yeah.
They're coming from YouTube. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right.
He's back. Look, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't even back.
You want to take a call for us?
Morning.
Pleasant morning, everyone. Morning, Paul, Richard. Morning, Wendell.
Good morning. I think you just said to the camera.
What did you say?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, please.
So, yes, I tuned in late, but I suspect you all are speaking about a specific topic in terms of sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yes, we are.
Right. And I listened to at least 4 callers, and I realized, I think I figure out what's happening with us in this country particularly. We still focus a lot on personality. And we are very subjective when it comes to it. And yes, I agree, it's about behavior. It's not about the person per se. It's about a behavior and a pattern. And that not everyone is assertive enough to, file a formal complaint. There might be different ways that they try to cope until it becomes so unbearable that they may find themselves in an anxious state or not looking forward to coming to work. I mean, sexual harassment is such a somewhat complex topic, you know what I mean? And I think it's something that HR needs to look into and not necessarily expect the person to take action immediately. You know, people get so sensitive about the subject. We get very, very defensive about culture and all these things, granted. But it's still about the person who feels victimized.
Exactly. And very often, if an HR policy is sound, they would have a conversation with the person alleged to be perpetrating and said, please, this person has filed a complaint and asked you to stop engaging them in any way, unless it's official business. And if you do not stop, the company will take it further. You understand?
And I think, yes, you hit a nail there because there's also that side in managing the situation. It's not just responding to the complaint. It's about managing it because now you have to, it's not just even about the victim, it's also about the perpetrator. And, how do you mitigate any further unwanted response? Because some people could get really, really upset. The
underlying principle here is providing a safe work environment.
Yes. But
let people feel safe to come into the work environment.
That obscene relationship with power and abuse. And I mean, we say it here comfortably, but it doesn't always translate to something so seamless to it, because I worked in an organization where it was in the organization's DNA. It was second nature for them to just impose themselves on you. And of course, if you are assertive, they vilify you, they brand you the scarlet letter, it affects promotion.
TTPS, ma'am? Are you in the TTPS?
Well, now what you doing? No, I'm not.
Okay. I go to ask. That's a question. That's not a good question for me to ask. But you see, Brenda is right, because we've heard for years you've heard about female police officers being in a situation where they refuse someone and they report on their performance is less than stellar when they're performing well, and they refused promotion.
Or they transferred.
Yeah.
That
So it's
breaking up,
happening
we
in
losing
all
it.
sorts of forms. You all forget Matt Lauer and
Thank you,
what it
caller.
was NBC television, Harvey
Mhm.
Weinstein,
Harvey
and
Weinstein, Bill Cosby.
yeah, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Numerous. There are numerous people in
Because
power.
in a position
Positions
of
of power.
absolute power over your career and your
Mhm.
livelihood and your trajectory. And Matt Lauer was the classic case. He had a thing under his desk to lock the door, and producers went in there and they felt powerless to resist him because of his position in the organization.
Mhm.
So they gave in, and then he said it was consensual. It wasn't really consensual. They just felt pressure to give in because of the disparity in power dynamic. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm calling back. I was just going to mention a friend of mine who is still a police officer. She was sexually harassed by senior officers for many years. And, the more, and she good for herself, and yet, she found it unwanted, and nothing was done, nothing. But it's a good thing she has been promoted more than once now, and she's still in the organization, but she's stronger than ever anyway, much stronger. So it depends on the person too. You have to be, like, as the lady said just now, very assertive. So
you have to have your own reputation.
Yeah, but it shouldn't depend on a person's personality.
I know it shouldn't be.
Should be
The vulnerable ones. They are the vulnerable ones who, can't say nothing because they're afraid of losing their jobs and so on. These are the ones who legislation is supposed to be in forthcoming long time, because these things going on for so many. I think Jennifer Baptiste Primus talked about that so many years ago when she was in the last incarnation of the government, and that was a while ago, right? When Dr. Roy came in 2050, she spoke about that, and still nothing really nothing yet, nothing new. In fact, So I think this thing is long overdue, because for vulnerable people, especially, not the strong ones like me and my friend and so on, but who could put people in a place and let them know where body go, But I think there must be a time. It must have a stop to this stupidness that is going on in offices.
All right.
And before I go, it's my last day to speak to you all for the next couple of weeks. I'll be checking out. I'm going to my son's graduation at Mona campus.
Congratulations.
And I'm spending a couple of weeks out of Trinidad. I don't want to hear no news. I'm not tuning in 5 o'clock in the morning. Nothing. I want to hear.
You're only saying that.
So I'll just be enjoying myself and enjoying my son's success. He's getting upper first class honors in his course.
Congratulations, man. That's great.
I'm very happy. So last day to speak to you all for the couple of weeks. Bye, and you all have a wonderful time.
Same to you.
Well,
enjoy it.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations once again.
See,
Good
all
morning.
right, Maria is saying, asking about the toll-free number, but the toll-free number is for people abroad, not so? It's not for locals. Unless Ulrich is abroad. He's saying the toll-free, he's calling the toll-free number and it's not working, not getting through.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm calling a toll-free number again from Orlando. Listen.
All right.
Also, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So what else I forgot to mention, when you are hired with the airline, at most part of the law, part of the criteria for training in your training with HR, they put you through a day training classroom with videos of sexual harassment. What is sexual harassment? And where you will, once you suspect it, where you report it to and who you report it to. So, but they expect you to be courteous because of the job you're doing. But in no way I can see, because of the type of work I do. I'm from growing up small as a little boy in Trinidad. My grandfather always told me, say good morning when you see people, because in case something happens to you, the person next to you will be probably the only person to help you or get help for you. So I understand, you have to be able, if this is not the situation in Trinidad, they need to teach people what is sexual harassment. Saying good morning to somebody cannot be sexual harassment. It cannot be trouble if you come into work. If that's the case that somebody is sexually harassing you and you have to report, HR needs to do something about it right away. then HR is the problem, not the person. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. All the best.
Paula.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Sexual harassment has been there for the longest while. I remember working with a group of girls and they had to do things to keep their job. That is one of the reasons why I left the country. Because I see the jailhouse, because you go to work and everybody wants to know what under your dress. And I couldn't take it and I left the country. That was the main reason I left Trinidad and Tobago. It was that bad.
So you never experienced this abroad, Ms. Sampson?
Not in that manner.
Okay. Because that's a human behavior all over the world.
Yeah, I would get island girl, you look beautiful, but not that, But it was terrible. And it was like dirty old men, I had to call them. People that don't have wives and children. It was
Okay.
Despicable men. Some men behavior can only be described as despicable.
Good morning.
Good morning again, Miss Sampson. Miss Sampson, the men, just put them in the place. The dirty old men you're telling me about. If you'd have hit them men about that specific man a box, what he would have go and say? And take it to management and say you hit him and why hit him? No,
Zina, I don't know that proposing violence is the answer here.
Listen, but I am saying, how could you be? I'm saying that's why I said words are win and blows are unkind. And touching it comes to a different case. But if everybody don't want somebody to tell you morning and you don't want a compliment and something wrong with you, you need to go and
get that's not what Miss Sampson described, Miss Sampson didn't describe a compliment or good morning, She described clear harassment. What you have under your dress. That can't be a compliment.
Listen, I feel a lot of people just get on too prude. And that is the whole long and short. As I said, the courthouse full of a lot of bicycle cases that going on for years can done. But as the pilot said earlier on, that's why you have management and you have HR, and they're supposed to deal with that. So I can't see a case reaching courthouse. Courthouse is for if you hold me down and try to rape me. That's a different thing. So I feel a lot of the organizations, maybe HR needs to be more forceful. That's all. Or else they go kill the nature man and no man. What me go watch one another and afraid to say anything?
Yeah, what?
That's not a kind of extreme. That's an extreme perspective.
Where's Paul?
All right here.
That's why I think say I just do it every morning. What he gonna say for you? Look, darling, give me my compliments, yes? I love all you. Bye.
All
right. Said I will kill the nature man, no man, yes? Well, yes. Father, put a hand. You all have a wonderful day. Be safe.
Yes, folks, have an absolutely fantastic day. Be careful on the roads and remember to let go and let God.
Yes, and of course, just reminding you that theaters on this weekend. Nikki, 50ish and Hot AF at Cipriani College is the final performance, Saturday at 8:30 p.m. There are no further shows. No, she's not coming back into town. This is it. Saturday at 8:30 p.m. That's it. Tickets available at all the usual outlets. You can check RSRR Productions theater page for all of the information, including buying tickets online. And the box office at Cipriani College opens today from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. You should get your tickets early because it's just one show. And of course, next
Richard,
week,
can
Saturday
you pay
and Sunday,
at the door?
we always keep some tickets at the door.
Can you pay at the door?
Yeah, we always
okay.
keep
That's
some
what
tickets
Dean
in
had
the
announced.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
And of course, next week, Saturday and Sunday, the 4th and 5th of November, we'll be at Napa. Finally, we're in Port of Spain with Bacchanal Bubble and Bad Behavior. Check RSRR Productions theater page for all of the details. Have a great day, whatever you do. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning, which will be Thursday.